launching this new era of silver arrows.
It's a huge difference between last year's car and this year's car.
We have full-on hybrid power now. It gives me 160 horsepower more.
The drivability is much better.
We have a lot more torque coming out of corners.
The hybrid first package, it's so strong.
We have the best car. New period of domination.
And are now willing this man on. Daniel Ricciardo, as round the final turn he comes, and his first qualifying for Red Bull. Can he get that car anywhere near the front row? Where's Ricciardo?
Pole
He's on pole by 4/100ths of a second, and Melbourne is going wild.
Wait for Hamilton.
Here's Hamilton now. Can England snatch something back in Australia? Yes, they can, by 0.3 of a second, and there's an eruption from the crowd once more.
You know, I'm really happy for the job the team did, and the car was, you know, these new cars are a lot harder to drive in the wet, and it was the first time for me driving in the wet, so you know, and I'm sure it was for a lot of people. So a serious task and challenge today, but to be up here, for both me and Nico to be up here is a real great showing for the team, and it's obviously great to see Ricciardo up here for his first Grand Prix with Red Bull.
I think it was all a good qualifying session, and third is, you know, I'm pleased with that. Could have been better, but third is okay, and I know that we have a quick race car, so from there, for sure, a good race is possible.
It's lights out, and away we go. Oh, it's a really good start by Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg. Rosberg goes in through past and Magnussen all over Lewis Hamilton here, going into the next lap, and Magnussen has managed to get past him.
Car's still driving.
No, Lewis, we need to retire. We need to save the engine.
Massive disappointment for Mercedes and for Lewis Hamilton. 2 laps into the opening race of the season that he started on pole. He's now having to retire. Nico Rosberg, who's going to confirm that favouritism, and he comes home to win the Australian Grand Prix for Mercedes.
That's it. Well done, Nico. Well done. Come on, guys. Brilliant stuff. What a car you've given me. What a car. Unbelievable.
Brilliant job, mate. Brilliant job.
It's incredible. Everybody's worked so hard over the winter, and now to have such an amazing silver arrow.
Confident, very confident with the car. I just hope reliability is something that plays well for me this weekend, and otherwise, yeah, I feel fit, I feel ready, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I hope that we're going to be quick this weekend.
Learned, gears are learned. Brakes are good now, brakes are coming up straight away, and tyres are good as well.
It's lights out, and away we go. It's a very good start from Nico Rosberg, and Lewis Hamilton and Sebastian Vettel trying to cover him off, but Rosberg looks to have got ahead. He has, of Sebastian Vettel, so it's Hamilton from Rosberg.
So box the end of this lap, box the end of this lap. So you've got a group of 6 cars ahead, all traffic, just be careful trying to get through. Okay, Lewis, you've got to double the yellow in the last corner, so Marshall's on track, Marshall's on track. Okay, Lewis, so you're on your final lap, take no risks.
Lewis Hamilton, who takes the cheers from the crowd and his team, and wins the Malaysia Grand Prix.
Awesome race, Lewis, awesome race.
Rosberg round the final turn to make it a 1-2 for the Mercedes team. Hamilton from Rosberg in Malaysia.
So just a reminder to look where the yellow line is on your right-hand side. If you can see it, just bear in mind where you are compared to that.
It's lights out, and away we go. And who's got the best start out of the front? Looks like Rosberg ahead of Hamilton, who will have the inside line to turn one. Hamilton tries to go down on the inside, and Hamilton nicks the lead from his teammate Nico Rosberg. As Nico Rosberg down towards turn 4, tries to make a move around the outside. Hamilton's got his covered. He's going to have to go the long way round, forced off the track by his teammate Nico Rosberg, but there was no contact made, and it's Hamilton that leads them down the hill. Rosberg against Hamilton. Hamilton fights back. Rosberg has to concede the lead within a matter of meters. On 2, and he's going to try on the inside again. Rosberg, he's got DRS, and this time Lewis Hamilton locks up as well as Nico Rosberg. Now, does that give Rosberg the chance to keep hold of the lead? Looks to me like it does as they move up the hill now. Hamilton just couldn't get the traction to fight right back, but he's now going to get the slipstream, and towards turn 4 we go. Towards the outside of the track, Hamilton is pushed. Rosberg makes his move around that right-hander. Hamilton now trying to fight back down the hill. This is where Rosberg went off on the first lap. This is where Hamilton on lap 19 regains the lead back again. And into the pits finally comes Lewis Hamilton.
Okay, Lewis, we need to manage these tyres, get the most out of them. Box, box, box. Lewis, we're safe on fuel, so no more lift and coast, no more lift and coast.
I heard you, man. I'm looking after my tyres.
All-Tech, that's Esteban Gutierrez and Pastor Maldonado, and coming together down at turn 1, I assume. Safety car is coming up. Lewis Hamilton pits, Rosberg pits too. Hamilton has now lost. Is the advantage he built up on the track. Now he switches on to the slower medium compound tyre.
Yeah, firmly it's Nico behind on the option tyre.
Lewis, it's Paddy. 10 laps left to race. Can we just make sure we bring both cars home? Nico, it's Paddy here. There are about 10 laps left to race. Can we just make sure we bring both cars home?
Okay.
Safety car pulls away and the cars fly down the main straight. It's Lewis Hamilton ahead of Nico Rosberg. But here come the two Mercedes into turn 4. It's Rosberg and Hamilton going wheel to wheel. Is that Rosberg squeezing his way? Is that Hamilton squeezing his way? It's Hamilton just in the lead from Nico Rosberg.
You're ready to attack, it will be scrapped 6 and you can use the overtake. Battery is 80%, so use overtake where you need it.
On the board with Nico Rosberg. Into the first turn we go. Is this the lead now for Rosberg? Hamilton manages to stay ahead. There's no team orders going on a Mercedes.
Rosberg will be way quicker out of turn 2. He can get on the throttle, but Hamilton's covered the inside line. And those stickier tyres from Rosberg giving him better traction too. Will he leave him any space?
He's gone off the track. He's gone completely off the track, Nico Rosberg, but he's certainly not given up yet. He now has to, as Hamilton slots back into the lead again. But he's going to go for it down the inside. Has he outbraked himself? Yes, he has. Lewis Hamilton comes back into the lead once more. It's Lewis Hamilton who once again wins the Grand Prix. Hamilton triumphs in Bahrain from his teammate Nico Rosberg.
Fantastic job picking, guys. You really underpinned this side of the garage, but you still held on to it.
Fantastic job, Nico. And best of all, great racing. Very well done.
And then someone should tell me that the sport is boring.
You know what I thought? I thought our
race together in, what was it, Italy. And I was behind you the whole way, and right at the end I got you. I was like, he's going to do that to me today. Last lap, he's going to push. Yeah, it was exciting. Nico drove fantastically well throughout the race, and very fair, and it was very, very hard to keep him behind. Particularly at the end, I built a gap that was okay, but he was very fast on the option tire, so I was on the knife edge the whole time. But it was great fun, and of course a real relief when I got across the line.
Well, yeah, I strongly dislike coming second to Lewis. That's really not something I enjoy doing. But on the other hand, though, it was definitely the most exciting race I've ever done in my whole career. You know, so and I hope we were able to give all of you fantastic racing in front of the TV. I think today was a day for the sport. You know, we put on a massive show as Team Silver Arrows. So I hope you had a lot of fun in front of the TV, and I'll be back next race to take the win.
Now though, Fernando Alonso, who hasn't been on the front row since... Oh look, there's Nico Rosberg spinning almost by the checkered flag. It's Lewis Hamilton on pole once more in 2014. Fourth qualifying, third pole for Hamilton. He made it look easy today.
What sort of satisfaction do you get from that?
Definitely the most when it's raining and it is so slippery out there. The conditioning is trying to find the grip, obviously not making mistakes on your lap, and really putting it together, especially when you have these guys pushing you. So it was a tough session. I really enjoyed it. The car was feeling great. I think we definitely could be. We always have stuff we can improve on, but the team have done a great job for this weekend. So put a good position for the race. I hope that we can follow through tomorrow.
So feedback on the start, please.
Ivano, perfect start, just right.
It's lights out, and away we go. He's now making a move, Sebastian Vettel. He touches with Fernando Alonso. And the Williams of Valtteri Bottas getting shunted out of the way as they go round turn one.
Check my front wing and everything.
That's possibly rubber in the front wing, Nico. So it's possibly rubber in the front wing.
Hamilton already quite a long way clear. There goes Nico Rosberg making a move on Nico Hülkenberg into turn 14. Grosjean on Kimi Räikkönen as well, going wheel to wheel. Hülkenberg goes through on the inside past Nico Rosberg, but now Rosberg has got the inside line round the final corner and he makes the place. Nico Rosberg getting past Felipe Massa.
Okay, Nico, so we have no telemetry. We're not expecting to have any in the race. So we will get you to start looking at the fuel later.
They're looking quite good. Small greyhound on the left front, but not causing any problem.
What's down the straight as now Rosberg comes in.
The box and stop, I believe they call it in Germany, he's gone past his marks as well, which just slows it down a little bit. Yeah, well, he's lost a lot of undercut, hasn't he?
He has.
Now he loses track position as well.
When you cross the start-finish line, can you read the number on the lower left of the dash? It's fuel remaining.
71.9, 71.9.
So you have more fuel at this point than neutral target, so fuel is good.
That's the cue they need to bring that car in.
Yeah, he's coming in.
Honestly, the front tires still feel really good, as well as the rear.
Speed differential between the Red Bull and the Mercedes. He's gaining. He's gone over onto the marbles. He's going to try and get Vettel on the inside of the air, but he locks up, and in locking up forces Sebastian Vettel a little deeper than the world champion would have wanted. Now the drag towards the final corner, and Rosberg, does he stay in front? Yes, he does. Yeah, this might not be too hard for Nico Rosberg. There's the DRS line. He's almost alongside Alonso even before he gets that advantage. So not only is he up in the second place, but he can start to pull away even before he has to put the brakes on at the end of the hairpin.
What is the gap to Lewis?
So Lewis is 15 seconds.
Going to come home now to take the checkered flag and win for the third time in China and win for the third time in a row as well. It's Lewis Hamilton that wins the Chinese Grand Prix.
Get in there, Lewis. Excellent drive there. Absolutely epic.
Really amazing job, guys, this weekend. Really happy with all of the effort, and what a great race. Thanks so much.
And we look back now to see Nico Rosberg, who after his troubles in the early part of the race, now crosses the line.
Excellent drive, Nico. Excellent drive. P2. Really, really good drive. Well done. No telemetry, and just did it yourself.
Look to Nico Rosberg now. Last year's pole sitter, of course, here in Barcelona. How good is this lap? It's a 1:25.4. So he has stretched the advantage a little bit at the top of the field. But can Hamilton wrestle it back again? It's another pole position for Lewis Hamilton with a 1:25.2. That's 4 out of 5 poles in 2014. Underway here in Spain. It's lights out and away we go, and look behind Romain Grosjean, behind Daniel Ricciardo, gets a good getaway. Bottas covers them both. Hamilton zooms up into the lead. Rosberg's now got Bottas for company. There's a Ferrari of Fernando Alonso coming down on the inside. Massive lock up there from Romain Grosjean. Kimi Räikkönen squeezes past Fernando Alonso, and Felipe Massa has made up a couple of places as well as Hamilton leads them up the hill ahead of Nico Rosberg and Daniel Ricciardo.
Okay, Lewis. Nico using third gear, turn 10. Think about that. So you were half a tenth slower last lap, gap at 1.8.
Race leader pits as well. Lewis Hamilton was told, not long now, Lewis. And out he goes. And Rosberg's going to come in at the end of this lap. What tyres are going on, Martin?
Hard compound tyres, so they're going counter to what Lewis Hamilton did.
Push hard, Nico. Your position is safe. You're just looking to close the gap to Lewis to 2 seconds at the end of this stint.
Please give me a hand. I've got too much nervous here. My rear end's everywhere.
Okay, Lewis, 0 to Nico last lap, gap at 3.8.
Where have you been for the last couple of laps, man?
Just been letting you get through the traffic.
There's Nico Rosberg locking up in a turn 5. Hamilton had only stopped once before, but now he comes in for his pit stop. Nico Rosberg takes over the lead of this Spanish Grand Prix. Hamilton switches to the hard compound tyre.
How my last lap, so they too slow.
No, pace was good at the end of that stint.
Then why did you bring me in?
We're keeping you on the optimum strategy, Lewis. Optimum strategy. So we're currently 4 seconds safe to Nico. 4 seconds.
You said I need 5.5.
So Nico boxing this lap. We are 4.8 seconds safe.
3 seconds, the pit stop for Nico Rosberg. So comfortably, time in Rosberg's favour. Now this is a gap that at times has been over 4 seconds, and as they cross the line now, the gap is under a second. Rosberg is closing. He's not closed enough to have a go into the first corner, but he's still got just that little bit of time to get it done once more, and the gap has closed down dramatically here, and Rosberg fighting for the win, Hamilton fighting to protect a race lead. He's won the last 3 Grand Prix in a row, has Lewis Hamilton. He's been behind his teammate in the championship up to this moment in time. It's the Spanish Grand Prix and the championship lead for Lewis Hamilton.
Good stuff there, Lewis. Pretty close to comfort at the end, but yeah, you did it, man. You did it.
Good effort, Nico. Good effort. Well done, mate.
Nico was quicker. I struggled a lot with the balance, and really had to rely on my engineers a lot more to give me the gaps and try to find where I could find time. And also with all my settings, I was moving them up and down, really trying to find extra time. But Nico was just generally quicker this weekend, but fortunately I was able to keep him behind.
How many laps do you think you needed to pass him?
I think one more, to be honest. One more I could have given it a good go. Like I wasn't close enough to give it a go there, but next lap I would have, but unfortunately that was it. So a bit gutted, but still, second place, still close in the championship. and many more races to go anyways.
We now watch Nico Rosberg start what will be his final lap of this qualifying session. His teammate Lewis Hamilton just coming round to back now. So if Rosberg does extend his advantage.
Picks up the throttle early and hard, wanders around that big bump. Oh, that's too deep, that's too deep.
And that's Rosberg's qualifying over. What of Lewis Hamilton then? Let's pick him up now.
Backed off through the yellow.
Yellow, turn 5.
Yeah, very good of him. Very good.
So it's Rosberg who makes the mistake, and it's a mistake means his teammate can't snatch pole away from him. He is not going to be very amused at all. He's going to celebrate pole anyway, and I wonder if this is the mind games we're seeing a bit. Hamilton is not a happy man. That is for sure. Nico Rosberg's on pole for the second year running.
Nico, congratulations. Pole for the second year in a row, as we said, but perhaps not exactly the way you'd want to achieve it, I guess, with that mistake at the end.
No, definitely not, no. I thought it was over once that happened, and because I thought, the track would ramp up and somebody else could beat the time, but no, of course, in the end, I'm really, really happy, though, that it worked out. To be on pole, fantastic, at home, and couldn't be better.
Well done. Coming to you, Lewis. Obviously, Nico's mistake, ironically, and the subsequent yellow flags meant that you couldn't improve on your lap. Your feelings?
Yeah, it is ironic. But no, it's okay. I was up a couple of tenths, so it's okay.
Nico, your thoughts on what happened with Lewis and where your mistake left him? It's obviously you're close friends. You're fighting for race wins. You're fighting for pole, for world championships. But there's no question that you disadvantaged him today.
No, definitely. Yeah. Of course, I'm sorry for what happened to Lewis. I didn't know where exactly he was. But once I was reversing, I did see he was coming up. So, of course, yeah, that's not great. But that's the way it is.
And Lewis, your response to that, and also, obviously, when you're last on the track, there's always that risk, isn't there? I suppose you're vulnerable to something like this happening.
I don't have an answer to it.
Okay.
It's lights out and away we go, and it's a decent start from Nico Rosberg. Hamilton slots in behind him. Look at that coming round the outside. There's Kimi Räikkönen in the Ferrari challenging Sebastian Vettel and getting Vettel through the first corner. Rosberg leads them up through Beau Rivage from Hamilton.
Well, it's true, isn't it? Being in the pit stop window doesn't mean to say you've got to jump through the window, does it?
But also, if the undercut isn't working because it's taking the tyres a little longer to warm up, if you're Rosberg, you don't necessarily want to be coming in first, because then that might just give Lewis free air and a chance to jump in by stopping second. As Rosberg now comes in to make his pit stop.
This is where track position counts in Monaco.
And it's the soft compound tyres going on.
Lewis lost a Grand Prix here once because he's delayed too much, and he was certainly pretty tardy coming in there. Will he be able to get out?
He's being held because Kimi Räikkönen just going past him. Away goes Lewis now.
There's the reason you didn't box the lap before. If I just lost position.
Negative, so Grosjean ahead, a lapped car.
Please inform me of what is the next option I have.
So Lewis, this is going to be a race to the end.
20 laps to go, half a chance of that. What chance is there that Lewis Hamilton can pass Nico Rosberg? And it's not looking bright, is it?
Not for Lewis at the moment.
Fuel will become critical if you don't start using longer gears. Lewis is longer in practically every corner in gears, saving fuel for him. So keep using those higher gears, our fuel consumption is increasing.
Can't really see.
Okay, Lewis, what's the problem, mate? Okay, Lewis, just get back to us, mate. Let us know what's up.
I can't see on my left eye. I got some kind of dirt in my eye. Is it possible?
Okay, Lewis, if you're not happy, then you just need to box.
And I said Lewis Hamilton was starting to drop back behind Nico Rosberg, and the problem is not with his car, but with his vision.
Hamilton has problems with the vision. You're catching him very quick.
So coming up, 4 laps remaining. Rosberg out in front by 6 seconds. He's a long way clear. Then it's Hamilton. Then it's Ricciardo battling for second place. Nico Rosberg, the man who's finished second in the last 4 Grand Prix, comes home now to hit the jackpot in Monaco and win the Monaco Grand Prix.
Yes, Nico. Well done, mate. Well done.
Yes! Thank you very much, everyone. Really amazing, this car. Really amazing.
Behind him, his teammate Lewis Hamilton, still struggling with vision, but he'll now see the checkered flag and he'll welcome second place, I'm sure.
Can you tell us about communication that you've had with Nico since the race? Have you talked directly to each other?
No.
This season, it's impossible, surely, isn't it, to maintain a relationship?
No, it's not impossible. It's difficult, and more difficult now, for sure, yes, because there's just more at stake. And it's always me against him.
Do you not think communication is important if you're going to kind of clear up any bad feeling?
No.
A lot of people in the paddock and a lot of fans think that it was an intentional error you made in Monaco in qualifying. You braked, I think, 12 metres later.
No, that's not true.
That's not factual.
No, that's not true.
But what about in terms of mending bridges with your friend?
Well, we're not friends.
Lights out and away we go. And it's a decent start from Lewis Hamilton, and Hamilton and Rosberg going into turn 1. Vettel's out of the 2 Williams. Rosberg just gets into the first turn, barges Lewis Hamilton out of the way, and Hamilton loses a place to Sebastian Vettel as they all file through. A collision at the back, and it is the Marussia of Jules Bianchi. That is a major crash.
Staying out, save as much fuel as you can for the moment.
The safety car has peeled away. There's the safety car line, and we can go racing. The green flag is waved, and Nico Rosberg waves past, sweeps past into the lead. There he goes. Lewis Hamilton swoops out from behind the rear wing of the Red Bull, gets the job done. Hamilton up into second place. Lewis Hamilton stays out. His teammate pit. A set of soft compound tyres going on. Crowd are cheering. Hamilton's coming back out onto the racetrack. We can see him exiting the pit lane now. There's his teammates. Rosberg goes back into the lead, and whilst Rosberg's stop was 3.1 seconds, Hamilton was half a second slower. Rosberg and Hamilton, as we watch from the Wall of Champions, go through towards the start-finish line, and the gap between the 2 Mercedes that was 7/10 now is only half a second. DRS for Lewis Hamilton once more. Rosberg will be looking in his mirrors. Where's my teammate? Locks up. Maybe looking in his mirrors too much. Overshoots the chicane. Just misses the speed bump. Actually pulls out a bit more of a gap on Lewis Hamilton by doing that. Stays ahead at the end of the lap.
Okay, Lewis, Nico is under investigation, so don't take any risks. Okay, Lewis, so no penalty for Nico. No penalty for Nico. He's on his final warning for cutting the last chicane.
Lost power. I've got no power, guys.
Okay, we're looking into it.
Hey, it's still not there anymore.
Okay, Nico, we're trying to solve it. I believe your teammate has the same problem. Look, these Mercedes are going really slowly through the middle sector doing 26s. They're visibly slower in a straight line, aren't they? They're quickly becoming the slowest cars on the track.
Okay, Nico, situation. Both cars have the same problem. We don't think we can resolve it. Obviously, you need to pick the pace up because P3 is catching you now.
And the gap that they had over Felipe Massa, I don't think is enough to get Rosberg back out ahead of Massa. Hamilton takes the lead of this race as Felipe Massa goes past our commentary box and away down the main straight. Nico Rosberg might be about to lose a place to Felipe Massa, is about to lose a place to Felipe Massa. Massa moves ahead of the Mercedes. Hamilton now stops as well. Is that Massa just coming through? It is Massa coming through.
His teammate, I mean.
So it's Williams that lead from Hamilton, from Rosberg.
He went very deep into the hairpin, did Lewis Hamilton.
Lost my pedal, my brake pedal's gone wrong.
Yes, he has lost a place.
He went deep into the hairpin.
And he's coming back at his teammate now. Rosberg is the car ahead. Hamilton's the car that moves to the left-hand side. He lost out at the start of this straight. He takes back the place at the end of the straight. He does what his teammate did a few laps ago.
He's heading through.
Goes straight on. Rosberg takes the place back.
Something smoking at the back of Hamilton's car.
He's locked tyres. He's locked his front left. Oh, Hamilton.
Brakes have failed.
Brakes have failed.
It's his second retirement of the season. Hamilton out of the race.
Looking after the brakes now, your teammate has a problem. Most important, you finish now. Looking after the brakes.
Here comes Daniel Ricciardo on Nico Rosberg. Ricciardo takes the lead in Canada. Mercedes failed. Red Bull pick up the pieces. Daniel Ricciardo that comes home to take the victory. Nico Rosberg that takes second place.
Yeah, it was a big battle all the way. Already on the start, I didn't have the best getaway, but I got better through turn one, so managed to keep the lead. And from then on, yeah, it was a big battle all the way through. Managed to stay ahead until the second pit stop, and then we had a problem at the pit stop, and I think so that's the main thing. Then I dropped behind as a result, and yeah, and from then on, then I didn't really know what was going on because I lost a lot of power. So it's very slow down the straights and just trying to hang on, trying to put qualifying laps all the time, and then didn't quite work out against Daniel.
In the second run, we've got that lock-up, which comes just on the downshift. As soon as he downshifts to 6 from 7th, the car spins around. That caused the yellow flags, and then Rosberg headed towards him.
Williams on the front row, 5 lights ahead of the drivers. And it's lights out, and away we go in Austria. Rosberg gets a very good start. He's already passed Valtteri Bottas. Alonso gets a good start too, and Hamilton's already ahead of Kimi Räikkönen as Massa heads them into turn 1, and they pretty much keep out of trouble. Although Danny Kvyat a bit squirrely coming out of that first turn, and there's a McLaren going wide of Jenson Button.
So Hamilton also passed the Red Bull as well, and he's flying. Hamilton he's already up into 5th place,
and he's challenging on the inside of Fernando Alonso as they go through turn 2. So there goes Lewis Hamilton down the inside of Fernando Alonso, and he moves up another place into 4th. From 3rd place in this race, his teammate Lewis Hamilton now moves up into 3rd. Nice stop, 2.6 seconds for Nico Rosberg. Hamilton stops. Hamilton back out on the soft compound tyre. His teammate Nico Rosberg now coming around the final corner, but that is 9/10 of a second slower, Hamilton's pit stop, than Nico Rosberg's. Rosberg was ahead, remember, of Lewis Hamilton before he pitted, and he should stay ahead now as you see Hamilton coming out round the tight right-hander, and Rosberg already on his way. Here comes Lewis Hamilton. Nico Rosberg gets ahead of Felipe Massa in the pit stops. Massa stays ahead of Lewis Hamilton in the pit stops. And there goes Hamilton down the inside. Late braking from Lewis Hamilton. Gets past Felipe Massa into turn 2. And this is now critical for Williams. Can the 2 Mercedes now get ahead of both Williams? And we can see along towards the turn 2 now, Bottas is ahead of Lewis Hamilton behind Nico Rosberg. And it is Lewis Hamilton coming into the pits first. Is this the undercut now from Hamilton? Rosberg now comes into the pits. Bottas and Massa carry on their way. Hamilton making his way towards turn 8 now as Bottas now comes out, and I think Lewis Hamilton has gone ahead of Valtteri Bottas in the pit stops he has.
So you have 30 laps remaining. So looking after the tyres, Lewis next car behind, 2.5 seconds.
Force Rosberg into a mistake, goes deep. Hamilton not exactly the cleanest getaway. And it's Rosberg, the championship leader, who comes home to win the Austrian Grand Prix.
Great job, Nico, great job.
Thank you, Paddy, awesome stuff.
29-point lead off the Silverstone, a track that you know well, a track which I tried to catch you in the last few laps last year, but you got a couple of good wins there, and you're very strong at Silverstone, so Lewis's home track, so the battle continues. Looking forward to that race, home race obviously for Mercedes as well, so how's the feeling for that one?
Yeah, for sure, looking forward to the next one, home race, so it would be awesome to do another 1-2 there. That would be great to give something back to all of our colleagues back in the factory, and so I'm looking forward to that.
It was a quite crazy qualifying, you know, just changing all the time, and that makes it very, very difficult. With the soft tires, it started to rain quite a lot just in the last 3 corners, so lost a lot of time there. And then everywhere else, it was quite wet also on the in-lap, so I was sure, you know, I told the guys already, that's it. And then we were sitting in the box, and yeah, and we just came to a general conclusion, might as well go out and have a look at the track, you know, and at least, because if you don't have a look, then there's no chance. If you have a look, there's a tiny chance, you know. I crossed the line, you know, in Lewis's gearbox, because I had to be there, because otherwise it went red. So I had to be as fast as possible in order to be able to do that last lap. So as I crossed the line, it went red, like instantly. It was pretty very, very close call. And I think all in all, it was just a really good team effort, yeah. Everybody working together, my engineers together with me, just made all the right calls, and it worked out, and that's fantastic to have such a qualifying, you know, where everything goes well in the end, and comfortable pole in the end, which is, it's awesome.
You're obviously incredibly disappointed. Did you expect the circuit would dry out so fast?
Obviously not, no. I don't really have anything to say to you at the moment, so.
As the lights go on ahead of the drivers, and it's lights out, and away we go. As Lewis Hamilton comes up to challenge Sebastian Vettel.
Banging of wheels then between Lewis Hamilton and Sebastian Vettel, and somebody's gone very, very deep, haven't they?
It's a Ferrari, it's Kimi Räikkönen. Oh, he's gone off into the barrier as well. That's a big shunt. It's a big shunt for the Ferrari. It takes the Williams there of Felipe Massa. The Caterham getting caught up. There's the safety car line. We can go racing once more. Rosberg leads them into the Vale chicane. Hamilton just a bit too far back from Magnussen. Hamilton's going to go and try and go through Cops here. Is he going to do it? No, he has to lift off. Magnussen goes wide though, and Hamilton now takes third place.
And this then will be a move up the inside of Brookland, and Jensen left him room, but that's all he needed. Game on.
It's Mercedes 1 and 2. It's Rosberg a long way out in front. Lewis Hamilton started 6th. To the pits comes Nico Rosberg. Here comes Lewis Hamilton then. It's hard compound tyres on Lewis Hamilton's Mercedes, as we thought.
Problem on the upshift at turn 8.
Copy, understood, we're looking at it.
What?
That's the lead. That's the lead.
That's Lewis Hamilton. getting past. Well, we heard that team radio message. Now he's stuck in 5th gear.
Consider slowing me down just to get me to the finish line.
Copy that, Nico. We will advise. No change at the moment on the gearbox settings.
Listen to the crowd here.
Okay, really having big problems with the gearbox, so please advise.
Stay in sec, Nico. Stay in sec.
Yeah, don't have drive at the moment.
If you don't have drive, try shifting, Nico.
Okay, I'm trying everything. Anything else I can do?
Okay, not at the moment. We're still looking. Okay, so stop, turn off, stop, turn off, Nico.
First DNF of the season for Rosberg.
And what a time to do it. It's Hamilton pointing to the crowd, saying thank you and winning the British Grand Prix.
England! What a great feeling, guys. I couldn't be happier. I'm sorry about yesterday, but fantastic job today, this weekend, and as always.
Oh, jeez, I can't believe it. What happened to Nico? He got sprung. Okay. Yeah.
Do you know the point situation now at the end of race 9?
I assume that we're 4 points behind now. So I think this weekend really just showed that, for one, you never give up. And I really, yesterday, it wasn't a case of giving up. I didn't think I could do the lap. I was really shocked that the last sector was so fast. But coming here today, I had my family with me, just focused. The support from the fans, as I said, just spurred me on, and I really couldn't have done it without them.
Congratulations to Lewis Hamilton.
Thank you,
and to all the fans around the world. We'll see you next time in 2 weeks at the German Grand Prix. Thank you.
Okay, Lewis, let us know you're okay. Lewis, just
Yeah, I'm okay. Something hit the brakes and the brakes failed.
A key difficult time in qualifying for Lewis Hamilton. I believe there's been at least 9 brake failures this year with those discs. Is that a fact?
No, there have been 2. This was the second one of the same, how do you call it, same way. The disc broke and failed, and therefore we changed now. We have to change the brakes now, or the discs now. And I'm upset that Lewis now has to start all the way from the back. It's annoying, but this is the way it is.
What have you been able to say to Lewis after the accident yesterday or this morning? Anything he needs talking through with you?
After the accident, he was certainly depressed. First of all, he hurt himself. Yeah, all the body is sore. And I spoke to him and I simply explained what we all know. It's motor racing, things can happen. And his spirit is changed. Today he's back to absolutely normal, highly motivated to make the best out of his terrible starting position.
It's lights out and away we go, and it's a stall on the grid for Jules Bianchi, but it's Nico Rosberg away, and there's Kevin Magnussen trying to come down the inside as Valtteri Bottas goes ahead, and that's Felipe Massa turning over, clipped by the McLaren of Kevin Magnussen, and it's once again a first lap incident for the second race in a row. No surprise, Martin, that the safety car is out. Here we go, we're racing once again, and it's Nico Rosberg then that will lead them past the grandstands and down the main straight once more. Hamilton down the inside at turn 2 on Max Chilton. There's one overtake done. Lewis Hamilton is going for it here on Pastor Maldonado. Hamilton very quickly onto Grosjean, now up into 13th place through turn 1.
So to Bottas behind is 1.8, so looking up the tyres.
And Sandwell, oh no, closes in, and they touch. There's Jean-Eric Vergne being passed by not one but two cars, and now Hamilton might have a little go himself into this hairpin. Ricciardo is wise to it, and there is no room through. There goes Hamilton again, down the inside, late under braking, locks off, and they certainly touch, and there's a bit of bodywork flies off the Ferrari. As into the pits comes our race leader, Nico Rosberg, and Hamilton now comes into the pits with another set of soft compound tyres. Here's Hamilton and Ricciardo. Hamilton with tyres that are that much fresher. DRS advantage as well, tries a little switcheroo on Daniel Ricciardo, and it's wheel to wheel, but not for long, because Hamilton gets himself ahead of the Red Bull.
We're not expecting any rain before the end of the race.
Oh, that's Jenson Button and Lewis Hamilton, and they collide at turn 6, and there is damage to the left-hand side.
Front wing. I thought he was letting me past. He went really wide, so...
Okay, no worries, Lewis. We're looking at data. Everything looks okay at the moment.
Yeah, I've lost quite a bit of downforce on my front wing.
Hamilton's having another go as well. Jenson Button has got a massive pace advantage, gets that move done, and up into 6th place. Lewis Hamilton on Nico Hülkenberg, really at all, and 5th place now for Lewis Hamilton. And there's Lewis Hamilton getting past Fernando Alonso. There goes Hamilton, no, thinks about it again.
It's too fast in the train.
Nico Rosberg win the German Grand Prix.
Great driving.
Yes, thank you.
Lewis Hamilton from 20th to 3rd.
Okay, Lewis, great drive. Excellent recovery from P20.
I've got fire, guys.
Okay, Lewis, park up where you can find a marshal.
I'm in the pit lane.
Roger, there's marshals just there, so pull up there, stop. Marshal with fire extinguisher right behind you.
The car won't stop.
Okay, just hit P0, go to P0, okay, marshals behind you. Jump out.
Yeah, there's lots of things going through my mind. It's getting to the point that it's kind of beyond bad luck now, so we need to do better.
Rosberg, 14 points in the lead. Perfect day for him yesterday. Another pole position. His nearest challenger, Lewis Hamilton, with the fire because of that fuel leak, not making it to the pit lane and not setting a time and starting from that pit lane for this afternoon. 20 cars on the grid then for the Hungarian Grand Prix. It's lights out and away we go. Rosberg gets away well, so does Bottas from 3rd. Sebastian Vettel now slots in behind Rosberg as down towards turn 1 they go. Towards turn 2 they go now. Rosberg from Bottas, from Alonso. Vettel's off places again. Hamilton has had problems spinning already as that cold tyres down at turn 2 that caused that.
Okay, Lewis, you got any damage? Let us know.
Hit the wall, I think. My front left. Just checked my wing and everything. The brakes just gave up.
Okay, copy that, Lewis. So brakes are cold.
My brake's still not working, it's still in passive.
Okay, so we just need to get some brake temperature into the front right. It is starting to come up.
On the wet line on the intermediate tyres on the right hand side, breezes past the Ferrari. Oh dear, and that's Marcus Ericsson. Substantial damage, and we do have a safety car here in Hungary. So straight into the pits. Link tyres, soft compound tyres going on. Daniel Ricciardo, Raikkonen is in as well. Grosjean is in, and there is Hamilton right in front of him. Now finally our race leader has made it round to come in, as has the man in second, third and fourth. Button goes through your screen, and now out comes Rosberg. There's Felipe Massa, Kevin Magnussen as well, Sebastian Vettel, Jean-Eric Vergne and Fernando Alonso. Safety car coming in then, and we can start to get racing once again properly here at the Hungaroring. As we're on board now with Nico Rosberg going down the main straight. He's got Kevin Magnussen wheel to wheel with him. Magnussen on the intermediates, gets better grip, under braking, forces Rosberg wide. Who's coming through on the inside? There's Jean-Eric Vergne alongside Nico Rosberg. Now we watch to see Lewis Hamilton as well.
Hamilton's 2 cars behind his championship rival now. That's going to bring him to life. I wonder if Rosberg's still struggling with his braking because he's just falling back through the field.
And all, there's the Force India of Sergio Perez careering across the track and slamming into the pit wall.
Box, but do the opposite to Vergne.
Rosberg will now come back out again. Adjustments to the front wing, soft tyres going on. Rosberg on Bottas.
So one more lap.
Probably you got another 1 or 2 laps in this pace.
Okay, just go for it, Lewis, go for it.
Hamilton into the pits now. Medium compound tyre. Where's it bring Hamilton out? Behind Alonso.
But, critically, ahead of Rosberg.
Okay, Lewis, gap to Nico 1 second. He's on the option tyre. He has one more stop, so don't hold him up.
Why is he not letting me through?
Okay, Lewis, if you let Nico pass this lap, please. Let Nico pass on the main start-finish straight.
No, I'm not slowing down for Nico. Get close and overtake, then you can overtake.
Daniel Ricciardo from the lead of this race then. Fernando Alonso moves into the lead of this race. Hamilton and Rosberg go past as well.
Why is he not letting me through?
He's had the message, Nico, he's had the message.
Mercedes have now thought enough is enough. We have got to bring Nico Rosberg in. Change of tyres, soft compound, unsurprisingly, on that car, and away you go.
So great job, Nico, so just catch up the front runners. You're P4 at the moment.
This is going to be crucial. Moves over to Duran defend and force Ricciardo the long way round once again. And it was the right move. But now Ricciardo's got the inside line. Lewis Hamilton's brave defence of second place comes to an end. He's now looking at Fernando Alonso. And down the inside goes Daniel Ricciardo. Ricciardo now starts the final lap. Hamilton's going to have to position that Mercedes perfectly as Alonso goes into turn 2 ahead of Hamilton, of Rosberg. Rosberg trying to go round the outside like Ricciardo did. He's forced off the track by Lewis Hamilton. Daniel Ricciardo wins the Hungarian Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton comes from the pit lane to take 3rd, and his teammate Nico Rosberg has to settle for 4th place.
Lewis, that was also via the barriers at the second corner at the start. What a crazy afternoon you've had.
It's been a pretty crazy weekend.
When you got out of the car yesterday, obviously you were disappointed that you had that failure, and you'd mentally put yourself over 30 points behind Nico. You were convinced he would win and you would struggle to get in the top 5, and here you're on the podium.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, big thank you to the team. They did a great job with the pit stops and with the strategy, and I just tried my best. The car's been fantastic when it's going, so obviously a lot of points lost because we could have had a much better weekend, but we've got a lot of strengths to look forward to in the future races.
You were really struggling in the beginning. You were talking about the diff, talking about a vibration. We heard you were getting very hot in your seat, so you were clearly nursing a few issues as well.
Yeah, well, to be honest, at the beginning, obviously a mistake myself, but the brakes were very, very cold and locked up, and I was gone. Fortunately, I got going again. I think the Lord didn't damage the car and, damage limitations again.
One of your finest ever drives?
Yes. I don't think so.
Should Lewis have let him past to complete his strategy?
Tricky one. I think we need to analyze that properly and look at the situation and not make a quick knee-jerking think now, and yeah.
Because he lost about 8 seconds. He was for 10 laps behind Lewis, and he's finished, what, just a few seconds, much less than that, off the win.
Yeah, but then they're fighting for the World Championship, you know. So it's, again, it's not an easy call. You need to look at all the pros and cons and what happened actually, and then what the outcome would have been, and then take the consequence from there.
So there wasn't an element that, with all the bad luck that Lewis has had, which has been not his fault, it's been the team's fault. You said that earlier on in the day, that you didn't want to press the point home to order him to let Nico past again.
Yeah, probably that played a role.
I know you'll be disappointed with fourth today. I guess it was a case of not being able to recover from that first safety car.
Yeah, it was the first safety car that came out in the worst possible moment, and yeah, so that was definitely hurt my race a lot, because up to then it was really going well, and but things like that happen, you know. In a race like today, so many things happen, so it's not unusual that some things go wrong, and then also strategy, I think, was not the right thing to do. But you know, that's the way it is. In hindsight, it's always easier to say. And most of all, though, I had a chance in the last lap, you know, which was exciting. But I'm very, very annoyed that I wasn't able to make it happen. It was obviously going to be difficult. But Lewis made a mistake in turn one, and that gave me a small chance. Just tried around the outside, but didn't work out.
And what about the radio message that were going backwards and forwards about you wanting Lewis to let you pass, given that you were on a different strategy?
No, I didn't want. It was the team that informed me that he was going to let me pass. That was it. And yeah, I don't know what happened then. We need to discuss internally. It's better.
Is that maybe because you weren't quite close enough to him at that stage? Because certainly what he said back over the radio was, "When he catches me up, I will."
I don't know. We need to speak about it internally.
Okay. Well, listen. Bad luck today, but well done on what was, as you say, many variables.
Yep. It's okay. I mean, still ahead in the championship, going into the summer break. Now sit down, you know, rethink everything, and then full on attack coming back.
Still, brakes are good, balance front and rear. Tyres are coming up nicely.
Where it's lights out and away we go, and Hamilton gets an absolute flyout from second on the grid, and he's ahead of Rosberg, who's been challenged by Sebastian Vettel going round the outside. But it's Hamilton who leads them into Eau Rouge, and this is where Sebastian Vettel took the lead last year and took Lewis Hamilton, and he's trying to go round the outside of Les Combes. Hamilton is just in there, and Sebastian Vettel has to go straight on.
Lewis was a little bit wide on the way into Eau Rouge, and it cost him. He had to get out of it at the top of the hill, and that's why he needs to go defensive. DRS not in play yet, but Hamilton hasn't got the grip that Rosberg has got.
Oh, and to be fair, Hamilton has actually got more of a front wing now. He's going to puncture Lewis Hamilton.
Nico hit me. Nico's hit me.
For the first time this season, we've seen the two Mercedes drivers coming together, collision into the chicane. There's Lewis Hamilton now getting back into the pits. Question is there any further damage to that car than just the left rear tyre? It's the medium compound tyre going on.
Okay, well, it looks fine on the TV, Nico. Looks fine on the TV.
Have you had a good look at my front wing?
Keep you advised on it.
This left rear tyre's not going to go into that 15.
Okay, Lewis. So yes, we'll manage it as best we can.
As Kimi Räikkönen now comes in at Ferrari, you can see him there as Räikkönen now goes ahead of Nico Rosberg in this race. Rosberg is out but has been stationary for longer. What's Rosberg picked up here on the aerial of the car? That is going to be severely distracting. Is he going to go for it? He's going to have to go around the outside. There's a massive lock-up from Nico Rosberg. He keeps the car under control. Rosberg has gone for the move on Vettel. It didn't pay off, and has that now cost him because he's lost out to Bottas. Lewis Hamilton then pitting from 16th place for a new set of tyres.
I've got nothing, guys. The rear end's so bad. Guys, you need to stop me. Save my engine. I don't even have the car to get past people. There is a safety car.
Having a go at Jenson Button into the Lecombe chicane. Nico Rosberg. Here's Fernando Alonso. Sailed past. Pulls out onto the dirty side. He's on the marbles. Wow. Nico Rosberg side by side through Blanchimont. And he's just ahead there of Valtteri Bottas. Rosberg back in second place now. It's retiring Lewis Hamilton with 5 laps to go. Ricciardo wins the Belgian Grand Prix. Nico Rosberg extends his championship lead and settles for second place.
I can just tell you this is an absolutely unacceptable race for us. In lap 2, our drivers crashing into each other. Unbelievable.
Where is the man? He's here. Nico Rosberg, ladies and gentlemen.
Very simple. It is unacceptable for me that in the second lap, Nico hits Lewis. Very simple. Unacceptable.
Hey guys, come on, come on.
Who do you think was to blame?
It's not a blaming game. I was ahead.
I was quicker and I wanted to overtake and I went for it. The inside was closed up, so I went around the outside and tried to go for it. And then unfortunately we touched.
Yeah, and I lost a lot of points today. We lost a lot of points today as a team. We could have easily had a 1-2. So, coming into this weekend, the rule has always been to look out for the team as number one and then race as much as we can without putting the other team member in jeopardy of points. And today that wasn't the case.
After such a difficult moment as a team, we do have to. We're going to have to sit down for sure. Yeah?
Just to clarify, you don't think you were at fault?
No, I'm not saying that at the moment. I haven't seen it yet, so I need to look at it. I don't have an opinion at the moment.
It's lights out, and away we go, and it seems like an even start for both Mercedes. Hamilton gets a really good exit out of that second chicane, and he too has passed Kevin Magnussen, who loses 2 places.
Gone straight on.
Rosberg going straight on there, and that's going to lose him time as he has to make his way through the polystyrene bollards.
So Nico looks like locked front and rears together there.
They now go towards that first chicane. He's going to try around the outside. This will give him, if he can stay there, the inside line into the second part of the chicane. Hamilton takes second place out of Felipe Massa, and now he can set about chasing down Nico Rosberg.
Earlier apex in turn 11, Parabolica. Try and open the steering on exit for scrubbing. Okay, there's 2/10 faster last lap gap now, 1.8. Nico carrying more speed, entry apex turn 11.
Rosberg pits, Hamilton now leads the race and will try to do his best about the 1.4 second advantage that Rosberg had before he came into pit. For the moment, Lewis Hamilton then comes into pit. But you can see Rosberg gaining and gaining and gaining because he's at full pelt, and there you can see him out on the track. So it's Rosberg going in the race lead into the first chicane once again.
Okay, Lewis, so I reckon the race is going to be at the end. So suggestion is we sit 2.5 seconds, get the benefit of the toe without losing the downforce. So we're going to need the tyres at the end.
I think Lewis has decided that it's Rosberg who can have that message to slow down. Rosberg's gone deep again.
That's the second time in this race that Rosberg's gone deep. When he did it before, he was about 5 seconds clear. This time it's cost him the lead of the race. Lewis Hamilton takes over at Monza in the lead of this race. Hamilton Hamilton wins the Italian Grand Prix. The margin 3 seconds over his teammate Nico Rosberg.
Thanks for all your efforts, guys. That was a great result, great recovery. So happy for everyone.
Good job, guys, on the deserved 1-2. I'm sorry for my side of the garage. Real shame.
Lewis, pole position once again.
Great effort by the team. Obviously to come here at a very much a downforce and engine-dependent circuit, to have the performance we have, I think it's a fantastic job by the team.
Very well done. Nico, you missed out by the smallest of margins. I think it's 7 1/1000ths of a second. And your radio message at the end on the cool-down lap there said it all. Damn it.
Yeah, because 7 thousandths, and then when I think back at the lap, 7 thousandths it's nothing, and a little bit here or there, I'm like, come on, I could have done it, but yeah, okay, that's the way it is, and Lewis did a good job to get pole, so fair play, and second place, it's okay. Obviously, first will be better, but still, it's a long race ahead, and yeah, that's fine.
Look, away goes Lewis Hamilton and Daniel Ricciardo and Sebastian Vettel. Rosberg stranded and not moving at all off the grid, whilst the field all sweep past him.
And the other problem here for him, and that's why he's doing this, he's trying to get to the other side clutch paddle. He's got no clutch.
For Nico Rosberg, this is utter disaster before the start of this race. And it's lights out, and away we go in Singapore. Hamilton gets away well, Sebastian Vettel gets away well. Nico Rosberg has gone away in his Mercedes, his teammate has gone away out in front.
How do I know what 6,500 RPM is? Give me another indication.
Red lights on the dash in first gear, so you need to have no red lights. Box, change the tyres, change the steering wheel. Nico, select first gear. Okay, just select first gear, can't select first gear, otherwise we need to plug in and put the driver defaults in.
Nico Rosberg has been lapped, and is that his signal to say, no, we can't carry on?
Okay, let's park it. Stop, switch off.
Yeah, toughest day of the year for me, that one. I didn't have 4th gear, 6th gear, like the upshift pedal was double shifting every time, no DRS, no hybrid power, very disappointed. Need to try and get over it now and then move forward.
Lewis Hamilton wins around the Marina Bay circuit. He takes the lead in the championship.
Great job, Lewis, great job. That was a really difficult race. Well done. Fantastic job this weekend, guys. Thank you so much for all your hard work. It's starting to really pay off. Thank you.
Did you ever dream or think that this would be the result today?
Of course, I was dreaming it last night, but you never think it's going to really happen. I just want to say a huge thanks to my team. That what they've done this year is absolutely incredible, and to be out here, arriving here with knowing that we have a car that we can fight with, and just the feeling I had through the race, it's I couldn't do it without them. So thank you guys.
Nico Rosberg on pole and Lewis Hamilton on the front row. This is now the first lap of the Japanese Grand Prix. Oh, and already into the gravel, there's Marcus Ericsson.
Make sure Nico doesn't do any dramatic stops because I can't see him.
So Lewis is saying that the conditions are so poor he can't see.
Which is where the safety car has now stopped.
So they're going to give a 10-minute warning, is that correct?
That is correct, Nico. You get at least a 10-minute warning.
We can get going now as the safety car pulls away.
Charlie, The track is fine. We've already done 2 more laps already. The track is good.
Safety car in this lap. We can get going in a couple of seconds' time. Rosberg, Hamilton, Bottas and Massa, the top 4 now. They can get going because there's the safety car line. And do you know what? Lewis Hamilton is sticking to Nico Rosberg as close as he possibly can. Down towards turn 1 we go now, and already Hamilton has to pull out from behind the rear wing of the Mercedes of Nico Rosberg.
Box for Inter tyres.
That is Nico Rosberg, isn't it, coming in. His teammates now through the final chicane, now through the final corner. Tyres are changed for Hamilton. There's Rosberg, you can see on your screen. Hamilton now gets to the end of the pit lane. Does he come out ahead of his teammate? No, he doesn't. Rosberg retakes the lead.
Expecting light rain in 8 minutes. Lewis, forecast is no more rain to the end of the race, but low certainty.
Now, can he make it into turn 1 ahead of his teammate? Rosberg is looking for him. Where is he? Where is he? He's just to the outside, but he's not close enough to strike on this occasion. But then gets very close as they exit turn 1. And he's going to have the opportunity to gain and close up on his teammate down towards turn 1. Oh, Hamilton goes wide. Lap 28 starts. 0.3 of a second is now the gap between the two Mercedes. Splashing through the puddles. He can now pull to the side. Round the outside goes Lewis Hamilton. Into the lead goes Lewis Hamilton of the Japanese Grand Prix.
My tyres feel okay still.
Copy that. Thanks for your info.
It is raining more.
We need to keep these tyres in as good a state as we can. This rain looks like it may build.
Seems like it's getting heavier and heavier.
That's what we're seeing. Seems like it's just getting heavy.
Oh dear, and now we might get a safety car. Adrian Sutil with the safety car being deployed and the medical car as well.
The race will not be resumed.
Lewis Hamilton wins.
Okay, so we need to work the tyres, we need to work the brakes.
It's Hamilton ahead of Rosberg. It's lights out and away we go. It's a decent start then from Lewis Hamilton and also from Nico Rosberg, who tucks in behind his teammate. Valtteri Bottas covers off Jenson Button in the Ferrari of Kimi Raikkonen, goes a little bit wide. There's Rosberg pulling out onto the right-hand side. Now as we run down and locking up brakes, Nico Rosberg goes into the lead at turn 1 and then goes very wide indeed.
Okay, you need to give the position back to Lewis now, please.
I have to box because of the vibrations. Nico Rosberg's World Championship has just taken another punch.
As Rosberg now pits.
We think we need to go to the end on this set, Nico, but we need to catch the back of the field up. This pace, half a second slower than Lewis last lap. Remember the tyre difference, so just keep getting through these cars. position for a podium, so just get past Gutierrez.
I'm still driving to get to the end of the race.
But just pick the pace up a little bit, Nico, to keep Button outside your pit stop window.
Today, and he's lining up Sergio Perez as into turn 2 we go. Takes that inside line, is now up into the points.
Am I still driving in a way to get to the end?
Jensen is just outside your pit window, so you're okay at the moment, so continue driving like that for the moment.
So Button down in 8th, and there goes Nico Rosberg. So Button down to 9th now.
So Jensen on new prime tyres. Need to keep him behind.
So we see Nico Rosberg out on track in 6th place at the moment, and I thought he was ahead now of Kimi Räikkönen.
Okay, Lewis, box.
As the tyres go on, 3.2 seconds. Make his way down the pit lane, down in 5th place, and look, there is Nico Rosberg on the inside. Forces Valtteri Bottas wide. Rosberg comes out of that though, ahead of the Finnish driver.
And let us know how the tyres are on the west.
The tyres are coming back a little bit at the moment.
Doing a good job, Nico. Fastest lap of the race.
I mean, the tyres still feel really good.
Do you think you can get these tyres to the end of the race?
Hey, firm, yes, easy. Well, not easy, but it feels good for now.
It's a first win at the Russian Grand Prix in the Formula One World Championship, and it goes to the championship leader, Lewis Hamilton.
Awesome drive, Lewis. Absolute masterclass.
Congratulations to the team on the Constructors' Championship. Great job, man. History in the making.
For Nico Rosberg, it's another podium.
Great drive, Nico. Great recovery. Well done, mate.
Sorry, guys. That was very unnecessary. Thank you for the unbelievable car to be able to recover from that.
It's history for us, so I feel very proud to be a part of it. To get the first Constructors' Championship for Mercedes-Benz is amazing.
Everybody in the team deserves it so much. This is the most important title of the year, is the Constructors' Championship. So that's why I can even smile a bit, because I'm happy for everybody to have achieved that.
Now, of course, the team won the Constructors' Championship last race in Russia. How did that feel to get that sealed up?
It felt great. It was very special, especially to see how much my colleagues, also were, how emotional they were, and everything, and to be a part of that and share that and realize that I contributed largely to that was great.
Now that the Constructors is wrapped up, you can turn all your focus onto the Drivers' Championship. Will you change your attack from now on?
It changes a little bit, yes, because it's always a compromise between how much I think about the team and constructors and how much do I think about the Drivers' Championship. And now, of course, the one thing is gone, so I can concentrate a little bit more on the Drivers' Championship.
It's lights out and away we go, and Nico Rosberg got away ever so well, and so did Lewis Hamilton. Covers the two Williams, for which Felipe Massa and Valtteri Bottas go into the first turn there. Out in front, it is Nico Rosberg from Lewis Hamilton.
Okay, Lewis, you're safe on fuel,
It's Nico Rosberg, so our race leader now pitting. Hamilton has to carry on and go for at least one lap longer, and it's the medium tyre that goes on, and Hamilton now pit. And is this the lead of the race? Going to Lewis Hamilton, there go the two Mercedes. They almost touch at the end of the back straight as Hamilton takes over the lead at the US Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton wins the US Grand Prix once more. Nico Rosberg has to settle for second place.
Get in there, Lewis. Epic drive.
Guys, thank you so much. All the hard work of you all back at the factory and here. I couldn't have done it without you. I'm so grateful for all the efforts you put in. Thank you.
Sorry, guys. Didn't work out.
This will definitely, this title fight, go down to Abu Dhabi now.
Why Massa was all of a sudden a problem for us?
It was only in the first stint. After that, he was we were miles behind after that.
But why was he in the first stint a problem for us?
I don't think he was. I think he was.
Well, he was all of a sudden push, and.
How's the temperature of the track?
It's dropping a bit, 46 now.
Where it's lights out and away we go, and on the run down towards the centre S's, Rosberg gets away well, Hamilton too. Nico Rosberg from Lewis Hamilton, and then come the two Williams of Massa and Bottas.
You know what to do, push. So Nico try and get brake balance forwards, rear temperature's hotter than front, so rear is becoming the problem.
Rosberg coming into the pits.
Okay, so box, prime tyre. On these tyres, you know what to do.
Nico Rosberg comes through, and he has just past our commentary box now as Lewis Hamilton makes his way through the centre S's. This might be quite tight. At the back of that threesome you can see Nico Rosberg in the Mercedes as he now blasts past. Lewis Hamilton comes back out onto the track. The gap was about 1.2 seconds.
So right rear temperature under control, but still very hot.
Have a vibration across the fronts, I think.
It may be a bit of blistering, but just look after them as much as you can.
It is a blister on the front right.
Okay, Lewis, if you can look after it as much as you can, just be careful with that front locking.
Nico Rosberg, so he comes in again, obviously pitted a lap earlier than Lewis Hamilton on the previous stint, and it's the medium compound tyre, no surprises there, that goes back on again. Lewis Hamilton has just spun off the track and has rejoined the track. That's what those yellow flags.
Okay, so you can reduce your pushing. The other car has made a mistake.
7 seconds that cost him, I'm told, that spin for Lewis Hamilton. Nico Rosberg, he retakes the lead of this race.
Well, no, next time you tell me to push, I only have one lap. I use one lap and then tyre up. Second lap, nothing left.
Both their drivers are absolutely on it, pushing 100%. I think that's clear to see. Rosberg is being kept up to date with the gap to Hamilton. Hamilton is just pushing like crazy.
Rosberg wins the Brazilian Grand Prix. Hamilton comes home behind him in second place.
Woo! Well done, Nick. Great job out there in difficult conditions.
Thanks a lot, guys. Great job.
Well, Lewis, great effort there, mate. Just sorry about that stop.
With the whole weekend, the whole weekend I've been feeling comfortable in the car. I was able to attack and control the gap also to Lewis in the race, so that worked out great, and very, very happy, and and especially here in Brazil, the atmosphere fantastic.
Lewis, will you speak together before the race to ensure that it's, there's no argy-bargy out there?
No.
You don't need to, or you have an understanding already?
You don't need to. It's already been discussed at the beginning of the season and several times through the season, and particularly after Spa. So there's no need to revisit it. We're not children. We should know what is wrong and what is right.
Nico, do you have anything to add? Do you have anything to add?
No, just that, yes, Lewis can do something to keep it clean, which is drive cleanly himself. So it's not like he can't do anything.
Question to both Lewis and Nico. I think it was 14 years ago that you all fought for the championship in go-karting. how does the dynamic change when you're fighting for a Formula One World Championship? How's it changed for the two of you all? Because obviously the stakes are a lot higher. Thank you.
Yeah, it's quite amazing to think now that 15 years later we're actually in that position which we used to dream about, to be in the best F1 team, fighting for the championship, fighting for race wins. So it is really amazing. And of course now it's more intense. There's more surrounding it, more everything. That's the best way to put it.
Lewis?
I generally feel it's quite similar to back in the Carton days. At that age, it was as intense as I had experienced, and I wanted to win back then, and nothing's changed. So.
But has he now managed to put even more pressure onto his teammate? Goes onto pole once again by a bigger margin. Hamilton has to settle for second on the grid for the title showdown in Abu Dhabi. It'll be Rosberg from Hamilton. Mercedes have locked out the front row. Nico Rosberg, who said at the start of the week he goes into this race with no fear and every belief that this can be his title. Lewis Hamilton saying he's relaxed, he's feeling confident, and he is ready to win. It's lights out, and away we go, and Hamilton makes a great start from second place, and he's way ahead of Nico Rosberg. Into the first turn, Rosberg under pressure, but he stays ahead of the Williams. Jenson Button gets himself up in the fourth place as Maldonado goes wide at the back, but what a brilliant start for Lewis Hamilton and the crowd. And so many British fans here cheering him away. It's for Lewis Hamilton, the race leader. So as he now comes into the pit, Nico Rosberg is now going to be coming in for his first stop of the race. As he stops, Hamilton makes his way around the penultimate turn. One Mercedes ahead of the other Mercedes, still Hamilton ahead though of Rosberg after the first round of pit stops.
So the situation is Lewis obviously has stopped on prime tyres, he's just in front.
Rosberg, 2.5 seconds now. He's not given up on victory, has he?
Nico Rosberg. Big lock-up, Martin.
Yeah, and running very wide. Tyres will get dirty as well, so a good second and a half lost out there.
Losing engine power.
Yeah, copy Nico, we can see it.
Anything I can do to keep it going? Anything to do differently?
We're trying to solve it, Nico. At the moment, just keep pushing. We'll keep an eye on rear brake temperatures. We may have a problem with those.
And Rosberg now down to 7.1 seconds behind, so been another drama somewhere for Nico Rosberg. He's done a 150.7.
So look, this is where he lost time, half a second in a very short first sector.
Okay, Nico, so at the moment ERS has failed. So Nico, currently still no ERS.
It feels like there's more than that. It's literally holding the brakes on the rear or something. So investigate that now, please, and tell me what I can do.
Okay, copy that.
Not just ERS that is not there, it's actually holding back too.
Okay, copy that.
Felipe Massa now in stalking distance and ready to pounce. It's an easy kill, isn't it, for Felipe Massa? Second place is his now, to a round of applause in the Williams garage. Hamilton makes his next pit stop. His brother Nicholas watching on too.
So we had this failure before in Montreal.
Yeah, it's like traction control at the moment. It's like traction control, so I don't know, I can't judge it.
Okay, alright.
Just get me the top 6 or 5 or whatever it is as safely as possible.
Copy that.
It's Nico Rosberg who's dropped back another place.
Box, box, box. You'll need to do a manual pull away, Nico.
Did not copy that. I mean, tell me what that is.
Engine power will be low because you have no turbo, so it will be difficult to pull away.
Daniel Ricciardo, the guy right behind him, has just set the new fastest lap of the race. Ricciardo is making his way around the final turn now as we watch Rosberg pull away. Ricciardo has just moved past Rosberg on the track itself.
How am I looking for that position finish that I need in case Lewis stops out?
It's not good at the moment, Nico, not good at the moment.
Well, what the hell does that mean? What do I need to do on pace?
Just drive flat out, that's all you can do, Nico. 19 laps remaining in the end of this lap.
The fight for 7th place. Nico Rosberg has just been overtaken again, this time by Sebastian Vettel. Just crossing the line now, and there's Nico Hülkenberg. And Nico Rosberg, and it's Hülkenberg ahead of Nico Rosberg. And Hamilton crosses the line as our race leader as he continues to race. Where's Felipe Massa? There he is. The gap was 10.3 seconds. It's now 9.3 seconds. And I think Nico Rosberg is about to retire from this race.
Okay, advise what's going on. The car switched off and now the throttle is all over the place.
Oh, Nico Rosberg out of the points.
Nico, box, box, box. Too many problems with the car. Box, box.
I would like to go to the end.
We're happy for you to continue. Just be aware, Lewis coming through now. And Massa is directly behind him racing him.
Where Lewis Hamilton is leading the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, where Felipe Massa is now 6.2 seconds behind Hamilton.
Okay, Lewis, so Nico looks to not be a threat now. Nico's not a threat now, so we can find this. To Captain Massa, 3.5, 3 laps to go.
Please don't turn up my car. I'm comfortable. Pick up the pace if I need to. Don't turn up the car, please.
Hamilton now ahead on the track of Nico Rosberg. Hamilton comes around the final corner. It's not Rosberg, it's Lewis Hamilton, champion of the world in 2014. This time, it's hammer time.
Woo-hoo! World champion! Oh my God, I can't believe it. Thank you so much, guys.
Congratulations, Lewis, 2014 world champion, first Mercedes-Benz champion since Fangio. And I'm going to hand you over to Prince Harry.
Lewis, thank you very, very much for not letting or making the British public sweat. You are an absolute legend. Well done, mate.
Hi Nico, it's Paddy. Sorry it didn't work out today. Very sorry about that, but you drove like a champion all year, and we come back next year and have another go.
No problem. Wouldn't have made a difference today anyway, so thank you for this year. It's been amazing, and congratulations to Lewis for a fantastic year. Well deserved win.
Emotions, very disappointed, but all in all, Lewis deserved to win the championship today. Yeah, that's clear.
He just came into the room just now, very, very professional, and I just said, fantastic. He said you drove really well. Nico put on an incredible fight throughout the year. He was a phenomenal competitor.
All in all, yeah, he just did that little bit better job than me in this year, especially in the races, you know, just a tiny bit, which I need to find.
And we always said it would be amazing to be racing in the same team and fighting for the World Championship.
What happened to me didn't have any impact on that, you know. I mean, he was out there winning the race, and whatever, my race didn't change anything. But still, I'm proud to be in this moment, you know, with the team. It's been a very special year.
The feeling I have now is way past that and above and beyond. It's the greatest feeling ever.
I'm sure that together we push each other, you know, to each of us always go looking for that extra bit. And that's really raised both of our games this year to a high level.
I'm grateful to God, grateful for my car finishing, and really to everyone. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you.